In verse 28 of Psalm 118, we see a clue on that first decision. Verse 28 of Psalm 118, "Thou art my God, and I will praise thee. Thou art my God, I will exalt thee." The first decision you must make when you get up out of bed in the morning is to give that day to the Lord. The psalmist writes, "This is the day that the Lord hath made." Do you give each and every day to God? When you get up in the morning, do you give that day to the Lord? Do you give it to God, or do you live that day for yourself? One of my favorite movies, I like the kind of sports inspirational type movies and stuff. I like, Rocky and all that. I like those kind of movies, I have to confess. But one of my favorite movies is Miracle. How many of you have seen Miracle? All right. Miracle is about the U.S. hockey team in 1980 that defeated the Soviet Union in hockey. The Soviets had one of the best hockey teams in the world. In fact, they were regarded as the best in the world. And they were the defending champions. They had won the gold medal more than any other team. In fact, they had won the gold medal, I think, more than all the other teams combined in the Olympic hockey. And here comes the United States, which was a second-rate team at best in the Olympics. But they had a new coach who came and who challenged his players and who trained them and conditioned them harder and more than any other coach had done in the past. And he brought them to the Olympic Games in 1980, and he did the unthinkable. He defeated the Soviet Union. I remember that as a kid. I remember hearing the news on that. And I remember the day after that, there was a fire station located in Washington, D.C., a fire station directly across from the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. This was during the height of the Cold War. And the fire station put emblazoned on this big, huge sign right across from the Soviet embassy the score of the hockey game in which the Russians were defeated. This was a happy, exciting time for America, and it was made possible because of some key decisions and choices that hockey team made. Well, the movie illustrates one of those choices. During one of the more grueling conditioning sessions that the coach is running his players through, he asks his players, "Who do you play for?" And each of the players had been recruited out of different college programs, and so when they would introduce themselves, they'd be like, I play for Ole Miss, I play for Ohio State, I play for, and I don't remember all the exact colleges, but they would talk about where they were from and who they played for. And finally, in this key moment in the film, at a moment where he had a particularly grueling session, he turns to the leader of the team and he says, "Who do you play for?" And for the first time, the guy responds, "I play for the United States of America." So I want to ask you today, who do you play for? Why are you here on this earth? Why do you get up in the morning? How do you set your goals and your expectations in life? What is life about for you? What are your priorities? Where are your priorities? Why do you go through each day? Why do you make the decisions that you make? What criteria do you use to make decisions? What's the basis of your worldview on things? Who do you play for? Who are you here for? There are many people out there who profess to know the Lord. They profess to have a relationship with God, and yet for most of the days of the week, God is the furthest thing from their mind. They don't think about God. They don't think about Jesus until they need help. Then they think about God, as if God is some glorified 911 call that we're supposed to make. I need help. Okay, Lord, it's time for prayer. Every single day that we get up in the morning, we're to dedicate that to the Lord.